Hi, I'm Kristina King, and one of the things I do is manage content for PDX Women in Tech, and I'm here to share with you how you can pump up the volume of your organization's voice by focusing on increasing inclusivity and creating quality content. So if we look at this picture here, we notice something about those people in the room. Women and people of color lack opportunities in job advancement, career advancement, etc. And as a result, they need a supportive community. So we focus on building communities, and as community builders, what we think about is what matters. Representation matters, and diversity matters. Think about TV and movies for a minute. Women and girls make up 50% of our population, yet they see themselves on screen at a ratio of about 3 to 1. And what are they? Like princesses, housewives, they're always mad about something. And the numbers are even worse for people of color and LGBTQ folk. So you might say, well, why does this matter? This is a capitalist society. Who cares who's left out? Well, the numbers are actually in support of diversity being a financial boon. I can't share all of this with you because that's not what this talk is about, but I will say that the numbers show that companies that focus on diversity of gender, race, ethnicity, they have higher than average profits. So if you want to learn more about that, Google Diversity Matters McKinsey and you can see for yourself. So one thing we know is that if we see people like us succeed or we hear their stories, it makes us feel like we're able to succeed. And as community builders, we need to share these stories and we need to bring in these marginalized groups. So how do we do that? We start with our newsletters, we start with our open letters, we start with our blogs. We need to use diversity and inclusivity to level up our voice. And we can do that by involving the community because we don't have paid writers. So how do you make this quality if you're not paying anybody? Well, you need a process that focuses on a few key things to ensure quality. I'm going too fast, sorry. The first thing we do is designate an owner. This is a person who owns the entire program. They need to make sure that they're chasing particular content that appeals to the audience, and they're also assessing the pitches and working with the writers to make something solid. They need a copy editor. This person backs up the owner. It should not be the same person as the owner because they're there to make sure it's relevant, it's accurate, and it's also meaningful to the audience. You also have to be okay with saying no. You can't publish everything. It might not work with your organization's mission, it might be too long, it just might not make sense. It's okay to say no because that's how you curate your image. And lastly, you have to maintain your standards. And this can be hard. So if your copy editor has final say, then your program owner needs to be okay with that, but also share it with the authors too. You don't want to have your authors see their blog published only to have it be completely different than when they submitted it. So we move on to inclusivity. This is kind of like hiring for diversity. You might attract people that are diverse, but you might not keep them as employees, given the environment. So with our content, we have to keep our readers. And how do we ensure that our readers feel included? There's a couple ways that we can do this. And it's by focusing on a few things. The first thing is by going to your community and encouraging everyone to pitch an idea. This is really important because you want to have a multitude of identities, job experience, job titles. You don't want to see the same thing. If every blog that you publish is a day in the life of a male React developer, you should probably be a community for male React developers, right? You have to consider your community's needs. So this might be a blog on what it's like to be a working mother, or how you can create diversity on your team without tokenizing people of color. And lastly, you have to be intentional. You have to consider everybody in your audience and not leave anyone out. So on one hand, we say, don't call everyone in the audience guys if there's ladies in the room, but then we replace it with ladies and gentlemen, completely erasing all non-binary folk. So keep in mind your audience and be intentional with word choice and respect everyone's identities. And yes, this also means that you have to be really kind to your allies, including white males. So, thank you.
Thank you, Kristina. Thank you.